time on how my sister almost died. And this is going to be like a series because the devil was trying to come for her life. But God is greater. Anyway, so we were all just chilling in my mom's room. Mind you, she's like 4 or 5 years old. So it was late at night, but she was already sleeping, but she hadn't washed her teeth. So my mom taps her and she's like, hey, wake up. You gotta go brush your teeth. And she gets up like walking, kind of sleepy. And as she's about to brush her teeth with my mom in the restroom, she collapses, bro, collapses. My mom at first thought she was playing. She thought she was tripping. She like smacked her a little bit. She's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? And my sister would not respond. My mom screamed like she had never screamed in her life. My mom runs in the room with her in her arms. She's screaming at my dad. She's not responding. She's not responding. I'm just sitting there like, yes, yeah, for real? Why don't you just wake up? Well, she started turning blue. She was not breathing at all. No pulse. My mom is crying hysterically. My dad is calling 911 and he takes her outside. What I forgot to mention was that when my sister was like walking all sleepy to the restroom, she started saying, oh, there's so many colors. And my mom was like, shut up. Why are you acting like that? She's like, there's so many colors. And she would not brush her teeth like she couldn't. Physically, she was just out of it. She was probably seeing heaven. But anyway, so after my dad takes my sister out because she's not breathing and does not have any pulse. So she basically dead. My mom is screaming, grabbing everything so we can go to the hospital. I'm like struggling. I put my dad's shorts on. I put my mama's chanclas on. Had me looking ratchet in a case of an emergency. So my dad brings my sister outside and does CPR on her. He's giving her mouth to mouth until finally she responds. And she was able to cough a little bit and breathe. Oh my God, when he brings her back in the house. First of all, we're all relieved because we're seeing her and she's alive. She has no idea what's going on. She's just looking at all of us like, what y'all doing looking at me?
My friend's 8-year-old was showing me his new book that he got that he was very excited about. And I was like, hey, I used to work at the bookstore that sold you that book. And he said, no way, really? Why did you get fired? And I was like, whoa. I did not get fired, okay? I quit. It's very different. And he said, okay, so then why did you quit? And I said, well, I told my boss that I needed to focus on school, but really I just didn't want to work for him anymore. And the 8-year-old said, oh, so you're a liar. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, you just told me you didn't want to go into work anymore, so you made up a lie. And I was like, you're not wrong. No. And then from the other room, his 10-year-old brother yelled, she did what she had to do. Leave her alone. And I was like, yeah, what he said.
Okay, y'all. So I got a juicy story time, but y'all gotta promise me you ain't gonna laugh. It's embarrassing, but it's gonna help you in life. So I'll sacrifice myself for you. So 2 years ago, we went to this charity event. I ain't gonna tell you that because that's some tea for another day. I will say a lot of famous YouTubers were there. And because I do have a vlogging channel, we wanted to get our name out there. We wanted to be there, you know? I mean, if you know, you know. Like, I know the way you dress and the way you present yourself is how people gonna treat you. If you dress like a boss, it doesn't mean that you gotta be wearing like Balenciaga and Gucci. But you know, if you dress nice and you carry yourself like you're important, people gon' think you somebody. So I decided that it was important that we all match. The point was to stand out. She thought she was cute. This is so important. This changed the game. So when we show up to valet to drop off the car, like for part two. Part two. Okay, before I tell y'all what happened when we showed up for valet. So we had paid for valet before, so we knew we wanted to show up a little bit nicer, you know? We decided we wanted to rent like a sports car because we wanted to show up nice. I know we're supposed to stay humble. I just didn't want to show up with like a Kia Rio. No offense to anybody that owns one. They ugly. And because this is in a completely different state, it was pricey to rent a sports car there. So when we show up to valet, you park your car and there's like a little red carpet where all the famous YouTubers were supposed to walk down, which I didn't know. I didn't know this was supposed to be for the famous YouTubers. So they had camera crews out there ready to film the entrance of these famous YouTubers. So when we're getting out of the car, they start filming us too. I'm so dead, yo. So they were like, you're VIP, right? I was like, sir, what does that mean? I only paid for a regular ticket. They immediately dropped the cameras and stopped filming us. Just wait, like for part. I'm sorry, this is so late, but part 3. So immediately when we tell them that we're not VIP, they literally drop the cameras. But this is why it's so embarrassing. Because the camera guy is in front of you like, and then you're walking and then he's like moving the camera in and out. And then literally when he says they're not VIP, he literally went like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. I was like, boy, they had treated us so nicely, but then he's like, y'all gotta go with the regular people on that side. But you know what was cute? Because there was like 3 people that actually knew us that were waiting to see all of the famous YouTubers show up. And they're like, J-Fam, J-Fam. I was like, oh my goodness. I even turned around to make sure they weren't confused. Because we only had like 1,000 something followers back then. And I was shocked that they even knew us. Side note, do y'all know the rapper Lil Pump? He was performing there. It was so sad.
My mom punched some creep in the face. Story time. So I was about 5 years old at the time, and my mom was a single mother. And whenever we went out, guys would hit on her all the time, but she didn't mind as long as they didn't cross any boundaries. Well, this one time we went to a gas station, and this man came up to our car to offer to pay for my mom's gas. And at first she was like, no, but he kept on insisting, so she let him do it. After filling up the car, he comes back over to my mom's window, and he's like, since I paid for your gas, that means I'm gonna be able to take you out on a date, right? And she turned him down politely and was like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in dating anyone right now. And she goes to start her car. Well, this man was not taking no for an answer, and he reaches into my mom's window and tries to snatch her keys out the ignition. So of course, survival mode kicks in, and she grabs the keys out the ignition herself, puts them in her fist, and punches this man dead in his face through the window.
Okay, so here's the situation. The situation is that I moved in to one of these like fancy smart homes with all the witchy woo and whatnot, and it has an iPad in the wall. And I've been here a couple of days, so I was like, I should get this thing figured out. And I walked over to the iPad and I started pressing all the buttons, cause why not? Cause none of them worked, cause I wasn't logged in, and I don't know how to create an account. And then I clicked this button that said secure the house. And then when I clicked it, I heard a woman's voice say arming the home. And then there was some machinery clicking, and I think I turned on the alarm, and I don't know how to turn it off. And so I was like, shit, disarm home. And it said, yeah, we'll disarm the home for you. Just tell us what the magic password is. And I was like, password? Nobody, I don't have a password. I don't know what my password is, and nobody can help me with my password until 9 a.m. And that's fine because I sleep, but also I have to go to work in the morning, and at some point I might have to text my boss and be like, so here's the thing, the robots have taken me hostage. One of the reasons I struggle to make friends, I think, is because I've gotten so picky about when I go out. Like, somebody invited me to a party this last week on a Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. And I was like, you want to start the party at the witching hour, basically, at 8:30 p.m.? That's crazy. Don't y'all have jobs to get to in the morning? Like, how am I supposed to attend your party at 8:30 p.m. and then also shower, take my melatonin, and be spooning my dog by 9 p.m.? That just doesn't, no. Just no.